Thank you so much for having me here.
I'm so happy to have you. So first of all, tell us, where are you from? And I want to hear about your journey. Tell us about your journey in real estate.
In real estate. Okay, great. I'm from Grass Valley, California, which is a small town about halfway between Sacramento and North Lake Tahoe.
Gotcha.
And I've been an agent for about 3.5 years. I started in 2021. And after about 4 months, I found you and joined your program. And it was by far the thing that clinched my rocket to success. People in my area have said that I'm an anomaly. People are like, where did she come from? Within 2 years, I had become the number 5 agent in our county. And the 4 that are ahead of me are like absolute legends who've been doing it for 30 to 40 years. And so every year that I've been with you, I've been doubling or more my business.
So good. So tell us how. So tell us what, I mean, as a new agent, I mean, it's hard, right? There's a lot of competition. You're not really taught. No one teaches you what to do. Hey everyone, are you ready to be fired up? Because I sure am. I've got Sarah Stone Francisco here, and she's going to be talking about her chapter in our book, Top Producer Secrets, as you can see here. And to learn more about everything she's talking about, to see her actual training, and to read her chapter, just go to KristaMashore.com/secrets. So first of all, what's your chapter about?
My chapter is about making video.
Make a video.
Yeah. And not just making it, but making it and actually getting it out there and disseminating it properly.
Getting it seen.
Yes.
Exposure. Yeah. People spend so much time, creating the video, and then no one sees it except their mom, their dog, their friend's sister, but not anyone else.
Or other agents.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, well, that's not exactly your audience, is it?
No. So tell me this strategy. So go from the beginning.
Sure. So, I think that one of the things that people have as a challenge is this fear of, I don't like how I look, or I don't like how I sound. I didn't struggle with that so much, but I did feel kind of awkward a little bit on camera. And one thing that you say, which is really, really powerful, is you can't show up to a listing presentation with a bag over your head.
Yeah.
This is how you look. This is how you sound. So get over it and be authentic. And something else that you've taught us is that, through this form, video really helps people connect to who you are, and they get to see your personality. So it's going to attract the right client. It's going to attract the people who already resonate with how you are. And that has absolutely happened. So I started with doing video texts and just being super consistent about sending out 10 video texts a day. And that got me really much more comfortable with being on camera. And then I would do, kind of just showing things around town, or do interviews with lenders or insurance agents or small businesses in our area. And then I kind of graduated, I guess, to doing some more of the green screen stuff. And so I would, I got the whole light set up and the green screen, and wasn't expensive. Certainly wasn't the first step, right? You don't want to use, I think people also, they get in this mindset of, I need all of the equipment before I even get started. And you don't. You need your phone. And that's literally it.
Especially now. I mean, our phones are just so amazing, right?
Amazing, huh? Amazing, especially with the video. The first thing you want to get is a microphone, because sound is way more important than kind of how the video quality appears, I think. But I got a whole light setup and a green screen, and I started doing that. And nobody in my area, at least as far as I was aware at the time, was doing that. And so it was really this opportunity for me to set myself apart, and continues to be. So green screen, kind of more educational, informational videos, had them edited professionally, got those out there, ran ad spend behind it. And then I started doing my listings with property tours. And that has become what I've really been known for in my area. And I've been doing less of the kind of produced green screen stuff now. I still will do more kind of candid, educational, talking about whatever I think is interesting and relevant, whatever questions my clients are having, I then turn around and I'm like, somebody else is going to have that question too.
Yes.
So I take the opportunity to spend 2 or 3 minutes talking about what that is, or about some unique experience that I've just had. Like, I've done a number of foreclosures, or rather I've rescued a number of properties from foreclosure. And so talking about that process and what that's like, I think it really helps the community. But my property tour videos,
Tell us more about those.
So I have a fantastic videographer. It really is about finding somebody who's going to be doing the best, because that's what your clients are paying you to do, is sell their property. You are their agent. You're not just putting it on the MLS and putting up, slapping a door sign, or rather a yard sign, right? Like you say. And it's almost like, I think of Jerry Maguire, right? It's like my job to present the house, the property, to as many people as possible. Well, there's no way that I can actually call up and, send a video to as many people if it weren't for the ad spend and the promotion that I put behind all of the property tours. So first thing, high quality. So finding the best photographer and the best videographer, and making sure that you have a really good relationship with them. And when we do that, we absolutely feed off of each other. I come in with a script, and it's very like HGTV kind of style, and I'm presenting all of the great parts of the house or the neighborhood that I think people are going to feel connected to and attracted to and magnetized to. And then they do amazing editing, and then it goes up, and it always gets, every video gets thousands of views. I have one that's gotten 2.1 million views. It's like over 1,430 hours of watch time. Yeah, right? And there's no way that I could possibly get that out to that many. I literally can't go around and talk to that many people.
No,
it's impossible.
The thing about, marketing appropriately is like you're marketing one-to-many, right?
Yes, exactly.
So when you're marketing one-to-one, I always kind of talk about, like, my daughter, she does hair, and she can only cut one hair at a time. So there's a ceiling on how much money that she can make. But when you're marketing one-to-many, and not only that, but your marketing is working while you're not, while you're on vacation.
Exactly.
While you're sleeping. And people are binge watching and consuming, and as they're consuming, they're developing a relationship with you. It's just been amazing to see. So let's talk in a minute about ad spend. And I know that's one of the main things that we teach, is how to, get a lot of eyes and attention on ads. And then the nice thing is you can take that to a seller and say, look, we beat Zillow by, 150.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. But let's talk about because you were a newer agent, only in the business 4 months when you started with me, and talk about, imposter syndrome, which basically means like a lot of people say that they're afraid of doing video because they aren't doing a lot of business yet. And I always tell the story about one of my students named Sue LaFavi, and she actually got voted best realtor of the year before she had ever sold a house, because she was creating so much video content, and the perception was that she was doing a lot of video. Perception is reality.
They should do a lot of business.
Yeah, do a lot of business.
She was out there like selling.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. How did you get over that? Tell us a little bit about that. How did you kind of work past that fear?
I don't actually know that I had much imposter syndrome, honestly.
Great.
Yeah, I think one thing is you give us the tools. And if you follow the recipe and if you use the tools, it's so clearly laid out that I didn't feel like I had to do it on my own. Yeah. I felt like it was all just given to me, So like going into the script vault and pulling the scripts out, right? I might not be that knowledgeable on, I don't know, I can't think of an exact topic right now, but say in the beginning, maybe I didn't know that much about staging, right? Mm-hmm. But then there's a whole script about how to prepare your house for sale, right? Yeah. And so then I would be able to go into it, read it several times, make it my own, mm-hmm. and then do the video. And it was also through that process that I was learning about it as well, which is really wonderful. And then within the first, I think 2 months of being in the program, I had gotten my first 2 listings. And one was for $950,000. Wow. And it wasn't even in my area. It was in an area that somebody had referred me to and said, Sarah's doing this amazing thing. You should connect with her. And I wouldn't take a listing that far anymore because I really value being a hyper local specialist. Yeah. But in the beginning, I was like, what I did was I partnered with a local mm-hmm. agent. Mm-hmm. And I said, look, you do the on the ground stuff and I will do the digital marketing aspect. Mm-hmm. And the client absolutely loved that.
I remember that. Yeah.
Right. And then the second listing I got was local. And it it was through putting out a lead magnet that somebody was frustrated about, and then I just responded to them and ended up kind of turning the tide and making them, honestly, one of my best cheerleaders now. And it was through being in the program that I had the confidence to take both of those on so early in my career. I had, not only the support of everybody when I would come to a challenge that I didn't know how to meet, but also just being on the regular coaching calls gave me the language to know, how to address what's going on in the market, what buyers' fears are, what sellers' fears are, what we need to be aware of and try to get ahead of. And I think that set me apart, and it really got me off on the right foot for sure, as well as the camaraderie of the local community, whether it's skin in the game or the people that you end up, connecting with at the events. There's always somebody that I can, whether it's a small problem or a big problem, go to and say, hey, look, what would you do? Has anybody experienced this before? And I mean, 99.9% of the time, yes, somebody has.
Yeah. The help has been, I always tell everyone, I can't speak enough about being in masterminds and learning from people that have done that thing you're trying to do. And, you get the experience, the education, the knowledge, what is working, what's not working, just by being. And also you get the idea of, if they can do it, I can do it.
Exactly.
Real estate can be hard. It can be very difficult. So seeing people do well gives you the ability, they can do well, I can do well, keep going.
Modeling.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. So let's talk now about video distribution. One of the first things that we teach is obviously how to do video, and then now how to make sure the eyes actually get seen. And then once you have that type of exposure, views, engagements, then now being able to take that and showing a seller so you have a unique value proposition to elevate your authority and showcase what makes you different, why they should hire you. So talk a little bit about that.
So, it's not simple, right? Like running an ad behind something is not something that I could have learned on my own. It's only through going through the steps of the program and having the instructions right there and really following through. And now I can do it practically in my sleep. Yeah. Now it's I go in 3 minutes, I'm great, ad off, perfect. But in the beginning, it's not something that you can learn on your own, which I think is why people default to the easy, click on a button and they're supposedly distributing it, but they're not. That doesn't get the actual distribution to the market that you want.
Yeah. And
so I'm able to target the specific geographic market, as well as who has already been looking for homes, as well as that's basically the majority of it, right?
You're making sure that people in your community are actually seeing it. You're showing up in their news feeds, you're showing up over and over again in their news feeds on their social media accounts.
And we are very much a relocation center right now. And so I'm able to also market my clients' listings to areas where I know buyers are already looking. So I can put it in front of them so they're not just seeing it in, the massive Zillow, homes, right? It's actually something that is specific on their feed. And the walkthrough makes them feel like they're actually walking through the property. So then the listing presentation, that system is worth its weight in diamonds. Absolutely. And creating a listing video that you can then send out to clients before the listing appointment. Talk about winning before you arrive. You show up and people are like, yep, okay, great. Let's just talk about what I need to do to my home to get it ready for market.
And the listing video, what it is, just to let you know, is it's a marketing video that's around 15 minutes-ish, and it shows all the things that you do which differentiates yourself, right? It shows how you distribute video, how you're geo-targeting people, how you're retargeting people, how you can show up in front of buyers' feeds that have been looking a year before. How you can target certain neighborhoods. I remember once when I was an agent, I would always market in San Francisco, because we live in an area too where it's more affordable. So I would market in Marin and San Francisco. We actually sold a house one time to this lady. She's like, I wasn't even looking in your area, but I saw your house and I had to buy it.
Yes.
It's how powerful it can be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then taking that and distributing it gets you the numbers, right? Putting the ad spend behind it gets you the numbers. And then also, again, the way to find out what those numbers are, watch time, views, impressions, engagement. Again, it's not simple, but you guys have spent so much time, your whole team has spent so much time figuring out where that information is. And so when we go on trainings to find out, okay, where do I find out the metrics? Then I can take those and put them into beautiful graphics and show either my sellers, look, this is what we're getting compared to the other third-party sites or my future clients. Like, look, this is what I do compared to what just putting your home on the MLS will get you.
Yeah, it just makes they see
it's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And then also the confidence, right? I mean, like
100%.
That's one thing we hear a lot is you walk and you feel confident. I think confidence sells, conviction sells. Sellers want to be told what to do. It is it's a hard process.
Because energy sells.
Yes.
Right? People want to work with people that energize them, that they feel like, that, okay, this is going to be a big process. I know that if something comes up, I can trust you that you're going to be able to get us through this, right? But if you're fearful or coming from a place of lack in that appointment, it's not going to instill that sense of confidence, that sense of like, oh, you can carry us through to the finish line.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Especially now, right? Like there's a lot of research that talks about markets. The more uncertain a market is, the higher the trust factor, right? You need more trust. And, speed is king when there's markets of certainty, but it's uncertain markets now. I mean, everything in the world is different. So being able to not only have that certainty by developing the relationship beforehand. I mean, people are binge watching and consuming. I cannot tell you how many times I've heard people say, I've binged you. I've binge watched you,
I was at the ice cream store or the ice cream shop the other day with my family, and literally the woman in front of me said, I see you all over Instagram. I love what you're doing. It's amazing. And then we sat down and the people at the table next to me said, I watch all of your videos all the time. You're doing such a great job. I mean, and I get that, once a day, and it's not that hard. There's only like 20,000 people in our area. So I've made a little bit of an.
But I want to say something. Okay. This is very important. So with 20,000 people, how many homes do you sell last year?
39
homes with 20,000 people. I mean, the average agent doesn't even sell free.
So in our area, over 80% of all of the licensed agents sell less than 3 properties a year.
Wow.
Right?
That's wow.
How can you even stay up on all of the changes in contracts, much less the market, much less the vendors who are going to do a good job if you're only selling 1 a quarter?
All of those things. You absolutely can't. So it does make it easy to be able to showcase what makes you different. So this has just been so good. I love seeing your stuff. I actually watch your videos too, because you are just so happy. And I think, like you said, energy sells, enthusiasm sells, and you come across so genuine and, happy, and people just are attracted to you. And that's what happens. I always tell people, you have to, like, even if you're introverted, and we have a lot of introverted people that are still doing it, right? You have to show, people want to see you, and you're building that parasocial relationship with people. So
yeah, I think gratitude is a huge part of it, because you can be shy or introverted, and people will connect to that still.
Yes,
right. If you're coming from a place of gratitude, so finding however you can foster, create, and still build that sense of gratitude in one's life, I think is so huge, because it just kind of creates a sense of flow that people want to be around.
Yes, absolutely. I want to remind everyone that's listening, she's in the same market as everyone else, right? It's even worse for her. She has less there's not as many homes. There's only 20,000 people, and she's still crushing it with high interest rates, everything happening with the NAR lawsuit, talk of a recession, low inventory. It's not that way. The market is in between your ears, and you are the only one responsible for creating the life that you deserve, and you deserve it. You are in control, nobody else.
Yep.
Sarah, thank you so much. I always leave it with one thing, saying, if you could give any piece of advice, whether it's business, personal, marriage, whatever, what would that be to our audience?
Only one. Can I do 2? No. Yeah. Live a life of gratitude and join the Krista Mashore coaching program. But honestly, as far as business is concerned, like, it's a no-brainer.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, everyone. I hope you were just as fired up as I am. Go reach out to Sarah, Francisco. You can find her chapter with all of her contact information. If you are looking, again, where are you from? Tell me.
Grass Valley, California.
Grass Valley, California. She is the girl to refer, and a lot of people are going there. So
yeah, Nevada County.
Okay, everyone. I hope you're just as fired up as I am. Be sure to go to our chapter, and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.